Wake up! Wake up! Fish are dying. But there's something you and I can do about it. Let's talk about it today. What's up, guys? It's Scott.
And Liz.
And as we start, my dough light just knocked into the top of this tank where my video cam is. So, guys, if you can, let us know if you can hear us and see us, please.
I love that. Sexy music time, says Skeleton Fish.
Can anyone hear us and see us?
So a bunch of people already in the house.
42 in the house, 30 likes. You guys know what to do. Please hit that like button. Someone say you can hear us and see us.
Yeah, they said yes.
Awesome, guys. So thank you guys so much for being here. Am I correct in hearing, Liz, that Greg Steves is in the house?
The one and only, our buddy.
Greg, we love you so much. We are so sorry we could not meet you at Bucks County Aquarium Society on Thursday. You, as you know, are our favorite guy. And we've had so much fun with you over the years, and we're so sorry that we didn't get to see you. So I did talk to Q Aquatics. She said you were awesome. Of course, I knew that already.
Yeah.
So glad you had a great time. I heard you did some bird watching too.
Oh, I believe that.
So what's going on out there?
So just everybody in the house sounds good. We're on that little bit of a delay, so we got to keep it rolling.
Okay, so I'm being told that She is going to do a live feed at 9.
Woohoo!
So with that said, we got to kind of keep it rolling. Mm-hmm. We have a lot to discuss, a lot going on. We're going to talk about Project Piaba, and we're going to talk about CARES. We got a lot to talk about. So we're going to move to our screen and keep it going. Again, guys, there's going to be some adult content in here, so we're going to keep it PG-17. What do you like to say?
Store your children in the overhead position.
All right, and there's going to be some alcoholic beverages.
Woo!
So, yeah, Liz's
it's
favorite
been a long
part.
day.
So, yes, it has been a long week. So, we're going to go right to our mods. Fish Hobbyist Aquatics, thank you for being a mod. I don't know if you're here or not. Candy Overhauls, the supermodel of the world. I don't know how you do it, but thank God you do. One Fish, Two Fish ROC. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for being a mod. Mr. B is in the house tonight. Thank you, Mr. B, for being in the house, and your beautiful wife, Angie. Aquafunk, that's my dog. We're going to have some fun tonight, I think, because I was messing with Aquafunk during his live stream. Now get this. Go ahead.
So we have our first super chat already. Multi-tank addiction, $1.49 with some heart stickers. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you very much, Chris. If we don't get you a super chat, I promise you we will. There's a lot to go on, so I'm going to try not to stop every time one pops up. Aquafunk is monetized now, if you guys don't know. So make sure that anytime you see him live, try to super chat him if you can. But as Susie Q says, support him by watching this entire video, watching the ads and everything. Funk, I couldn't be prouder. I know you're going to give me a hard time tonight, but I couldn't be prouder. Now, one of the things Funk said that I couldn't understand was he was like, now that I'm monetized and I'm getting all these super chats, I got to really step my game up on my live stream. But then he stops his live feed 10 minutes early, so I don't know how that works, Funk. I'm like, wait a minute, you should be going longer, not shorter, but we'll talk about that later.
Some guys have issues with that, you know.
Oh, my God. I'm glad I put that out there.
Funk.
Next, Rob93 Aquatics, thank you for being in the house and being a mod. And then we have a noob mod, and Bob doesn't even know this, but I made Bob Kaler a new mod. You can go ahead and take care of those.
All right, so we got 2 more super chats. Tiffany White, $10 with a cute little stick. I love these stickers, guys. And Warrior Planet Tanks, $10. What's up, y'all? King Queen, thank you for last night.
Oh, my God. That dude.
What did I miss?
That dude is my new. I mean, that's the best live stream I've ever seen in my life. And that's talking about Rachel, Corey, everyone. I absolutely connect with that dude coming from North Carolina for so many years. Steve is a hot mess, but I mean that in the best way.
Because I'm a hot mess. You know Scott loves a hot mess.
I want you to watch his channel, his live feed. The dude is awesome. He reminds me of people I used to hang with all the time in Greensboro, North Carolina. We're going to talk more, Steve, but that was awesome, and thank you so much for the super chat. So, Bob, welcome to the family. Welcome to being a mod, and thank you so much for all you do. Long time coming. I should have made you a mod a long time ago. Am I missing anything in the chat?
No, you're good.
If so, just I don't want to miss questions. I don't want to miss stuff. I always feel like I miss so much stuff.
Well, we do, but you've got a huge plan of things to roll through.
But my plan can wait. Okay. I want to go make sure that we take care of that stuff.
So far, so good.
All right, so we've announced all the mods. We've thanked them because actually, and as Funk always says, the mods are what makes the stream successful. So thank you so much, guys. We're going to talk about 2 GoFunds. I'm not going to get into details about what they're for because it's been said enough and enough. But the first one is going to be Pam's. We're trying to raise money for her. The link is in my description below, but Candy or other mods, if you can put the link up, please put it up. My suggestion, if you can donate directly to her, do that because Google or YouTube has a 30% charge that they take out of every super chat. I absolutely am so happy for people like Rack and Chris, Multi-Tank Addictions, who are doing all these great things to help Pam out. It's amazing. We're going to talk about those stuff. But for me, I've already put $50 to Pam's GoFund today because I didn't want the super chat to take anything out. So I took that fund, put it directly to them. Then I also bought a calendar to support Pam and to support Chris and what he's doing, which is phenomenal. Now Chris is making a calendar.
Yeah.
And if he sells, I believe, Chris, let me know, 77 of them, that will cover Pam's rent for a month. So
fantastic.
You have to definitely check it out. In fact, let me bring that calendar up so you can see what it looks like.
All right.
Bam!
Well, bam.
So that's kind of what it looks like. Let me see if I can make it a little bigger. Oh my God. You are on a roll tonight. So that's kind of just a drawing of what the calendar looks like. It is, here he goes. Here goes Funk. It is $18 and for people who want to donate and help Pam, but also get something back, what a great idea.
And help support the fish artists like Chris.
Absolutely. Now, Chris, believe it or not, has been on a marathon. Yeah. He has been online all day long, and he's letting people see what he's creating for this calendar and other stuff. So that dude's going to crash really hard at some point, hopefully not in the middle of our live feed. So the other thing we want to do is, and then again, this is in my description below, these links to these GoFunds. We're still supporting Candy. Again, I'm not going to get into the particulars of what's going on. We've said it enough, but we are still helping her out. We want to do everything we can to help her family. We're up to $6,285, and we're trying to hit 10,000, maybe 15,000. Awesome. So guys, please keep giving if you can. I really, really appreciate it. Last thing I want to talk about, what did I just do?
Oh, Lord only knows.
Okay, we still good over there?
Yep, we're
Last
good.
thing I want to talk about is I did put a new video out. It's called The Fish Room Tour Continued. It was because I didn't really like our live. I was disappointed in our live stream.
Right.
It had some lagging. The videos weren't working well.
Some
one of the cameras froze. It was a hot mess, in my opinion. And I hate stuff like that. So I actually did a video. It took me less than an hour to make it, which is incredible because most of my videos, as you know, takes days. I did this in less than an hour. I put it up, and now it's got like over 1,400 views. And I'm like,
I told you that this always happens. You put so much time and effort into these videos, and then the ones you do like that night, they blow up.
You're absolutely right.
I'm right. You heard it. I'm right.
You're absolutely right. So just want to shout out my video. If you can put the link up, please do that. And I thought I had something else right here. Here it is. I'm putting up the Matrix. Do you know why I'm putting up the Matrix?
Yeah, I don't know.
Thank you, Chris, for that $2 super chat. Stop sending that super chat. Use that money to send those calendars out. Yes, go ahead.
So Aqua Rob says, what's your opinion on overstocking to lessen the aggression in an American cichlid tank?
I don't like it. I see people do it for African cichlids. And if Greg Steve's in the house, I'm sure he can speak on this.
Right.
And I understand it for African cichlids. For American cichlids, it's not It's not the way I do it.
Right.
I have large tanks.
With 1 or 2 fish in each tank.
And some people don't get that. Some people, are like, man, that's a lot of tank for 2 fish.
And I've seen them, like stocked. And I look at that and I think, oh my, those poor fish. They have nowhere to move, nowhere to go, no space to swim.
Right. There's some scientific stuff to it. I'm sure Chewy's there. But male cichlids put out a hormone that will decrease the growth of other cichlids to make them more dominant.
Okay.
And so that's another reason not to do it. I like my fish to grow up healthy, happy, and so I don't have a large amount of fish. Back to the matrix.
Yes, sorry.
The reason why I put the matrix up is because sometimes Susie Q was talking about, I've been talking about YouTube versus fish keeping for a long time. And I was so happy to see Susie Q talk about it. But there's definitely a difference between YouTube and the OG, as Susie Q said it, fish keepers. And it's for me, it's like the awakening when you're at the Matrix and you're in this synthetic world, and then you realize they take the Matrix off and you realize what the real world is.
No.
That's kind of what it is when you've been brought up on YouTube, but then you realize there's a totally different world out there of really, really experienced hobbyists who know what they're doing, have gone out into the field, collected fish, done books, etc., that don't even deal with YouTube.
Right.
Don't even deal with it. So I put that up because as I was listening to Susie Q's tremendous talk, I thought that it just made me think of, this is kind of like the Matrix when people start to realize that fish keeping information is not all on YouTube. It's actual people who are more experienced than some of the biggest YouTubers out there who just don't do YouTube.
Okay. So you didn't just put the Matrix picture up because that's how you like to dress?
Well, I could do that. I love these glasses because they are sunglasses, and they're my prescription glasses.
Your reading glasses.
Yeah, so I like this. So
because when you're reading, you'll want to have shades on.
Right? Because the sun might be overhead or something. All right, so enough. We've done enough. It's already 8:11. But Susie Q, great job on your live feed. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. It's been something that I've been talking about for a long time, the difference between YouTube and some of the OGs that are out there. And we have one of them in the audience, Greg Steves, who is a dear friend of ours. So I've been brought up old school, Rusty Wessel, Mo Devlin. I mean, I feel like I have some pedigree to me because I've been brought up through some of the best hobbyists in the world. All right, let's do some shout outs out there. Can you talk? Fish Tank Bar and Mike, thank you so much.
I think the OGs and YouTube can coexist together. In my opinion, social media is the outlet for getting younger people into the hobby. Absolutely.
Mike, I couldn't agree with you more. Greg, who's, again, I don't know if he's still in the house, will tell you that Greg's taught me a lot. But one of the things that flattered me the most was when Greg came to me and said, hey, what software do you use when you make videos? What cameras are you using? So I felt like, this man has given me so much knowledge about fish. For me to be able to talk to him about YouTube and different softwares and stuff meant the world to me, that I could finally give back to someone that I respect so much.
Right.
So shout outs, can you?
So Denny's Fish Tanks, Q Aquatics FS Fish Room, Candy, Lumpy Dog, of course Mike with Fish Tank Barn, Temple Poseidon is here, BibleWP.com TM, Friday Fish Facts,
how many's
Thirsty
in the house?
Rabbit. Look, 89. So 89
I am not
in
the house
everybody.
And 49 likes. Yeah. Y'all fix that, please.
Melvin's here. Warrior Planet Tanks. Sandy Doherty. So many people. KG Cichlids.
All right.
So let's see. Oh, look, Tom's here.
Tom Galuli?
Yeah.
Another OG. Another guy that has taught me so much. And I've said this so many times, but my club wouldn't have got off the ground had it not been for the guidance of Tom Galuli. So I feel like I'm one of the Blues Brothers, or maybe I'm Stevie Wonder right here. But we will go to the wine of the... Yes, ma'am?
So we do have another question. How are the new Oscars doing?
The new Oscars are doing great. Who asked that question?
That was Denny's Fish Tanks.
Denny, I'm going to... Because you asked, we're going to skip over the wine of the day for a second.
Oh, no.
And there they are right there. They're sulking a little bit, but they did eat.
I was playing with them a little bit earlier. They were swimming around.
Yeah, Oscars, when they get in a new environment, tend to kind of sulk to the bottom until they get acclimated and used to everything. But they've been doing fairly well. I know you're excited about them because you like
I
Oscars.
love Oscars. I love Oscars.
I'm thinking about maybe putting them in the arowana tank. I don't know. I don't think the arowanas will be a problem. It's that pike that will be a problem. So we'll see how it goes. But if you can see, and I don't have any way to circle it for you, but they're down there in the corner. They're actually a breeding pair of white albino tiger Oscars. So you can see the Cuban is also pretty interested in them over there. It looks like he wants to get over there and talk to him. All right, we're going to do wine of the day.
Yep, and while we're doing that round, and Rob said you look more Stevie Wonder. So, wine of the day is from Moondog Cellars. It's Rocky's Mango, a nice mango wine this evening.
Mango wine.
And this is another local wine. It's up Route 30, heading towards Lancaster area.
Speaking of which, we went to go get this wine, and Dan Aykroyd is actually coming to
York, Pennsylvania. Was it the 13th or the 15th?
The 15th.
The 15th.
To, I guess he's got a new
liquor. It's I think it's a vodka type liquor.
I can't do this anymore.
And he will be signing his liquor bottles in York, Pennsylvania at the liquor store.
Wow. Wow.
Try that and see if you like it, my dear.
This is the mango.
The mango.
All right, guys. So some of you already sent super chats. Thank you very much for that. If you'd like to send a super chat directly to Liz so she can keep doing her wine tasting, whatever adventure, so she can bring it to you guys, please make sure you say this is for Liz's wine fund. So
Mr. B says he's drinking wine out of a plastic bottle. Does that count? Absolutely.
Funk, I'm going to get you. Look what he's talking about. Funk.
I didn't even see it, so I'll kill him later.
He's talking about me. It ain't nothing bad.
Well, he's a goober.
All right, guys. So, again, we are going to talk about a couple of things. I'm going to get a sip of this first.
So, we do have another question. Is an FX6 and a large sponge too much for an Oscar in a 75-gallon? Absolutely not. You can never too much filtration. No, never. That's great. I have 2 FXs and a large sponge filter in my arowana tank, and I'm actually thinking about adding something else to it, but I do lots of water changes, so they're doing well, as you can see in the back. What else you got going on? So Mr. B just says, you just like me tipsy. Warrior Plant says, can't lie, I'm on a box wine tonight. Thank you guys so much for the 66 likes. Hopefully that will help this get shared out. One of the great things I have is a friendship with Aquafunk, Susie Q. You're friends with him? Yes. Oh,
and
God.
I've always talked about this every stream. We have like a little private page where we do a lot of talking. Go ahead. Thank you, Bob, for the $20 for the wine fund. I will get some more fruit wines. Absolutely. And Greg says he's running around here doing stuff, but got you on the speakers. Love you both. We love you too, Greg. Thanks for lurking. And Greg, we are so sorry we were not there Thursday. We will make it up to you, even if that means we have to come to Texas and finally see your fish pool, pond, or whatever it is you got there. So we have another question from Rainer. I am planning a North American pond. Which fish would you recommend? A North American pond. Well, if you say North American, there's really only one cichlid that comes from North America. North America? Which one is that? And that's the Texas cichlid that Greg Steves just did a talk about at Bucks County. If you're talking about like Central American and South American and you're doing a pond, or if sky's the limits. I mean, if you're in North America and that's what you're calling a North American pond, you know, you could put any kind of cichlid. But I'm saying if you're doing a pond, sky's the limit. If it's a pond, here's my thing: you're really not going to be able to appreciate the beauty of, say, some viejas or some really pretty fish. So I would be getting like peacock bass and stuff that are going to be splashing that I could see and I can enjoy and I can watch get large, because I mean, if you're going to have a pond, you might as well get fish that are going to enjoy it and really appreciate it. And I just watched an aquarist. They built their pond, and they did it, like, above ground with the windows so they could see their fish, you know, swimming around. And that's just the coolest thing. Mike M. says... Mike, in Sweden, we have an annual prize awarded to the most valuable Aquarius each year. It is a plate with a picture of an Oscar, and then, of course, it's called the Oscar of the Year. Getting an Oscar. Awesome. That is awesome, That's Mike. Fantastic. Again, guys, we're going to try to give you some information today, but live streams is also our opportunity to get to know you a little bit better and just to have a nice sit-down and friendly conversation. Now, I have another analogy. I said this thing about Matrix. I have another analogy, and hopefully this doesn't make a lot of people mad. But I had this idea when I was doing my video that, making a video is very similar to like a singer or an artist being in the studio and making a song, and then you have all this technology to make someone that really doesn't sing that great sound the best. But when you go live, you're live, baby. There ain't nothing saving you from looking like a fool if you don't know what you're talking about. So kudos to each and every one of those channels that actually step out there and go live. Again, Q Quax was talking about how nervous she was when she first went on live. She is doing an absolutely great job, as is Funk. And I really think that going live puts you a step above. I mean, if you're doing videos and you're willing to go live and discuss any topic, aquatic topic, I think that really says something about your confidence in what you've been doing and the information that you've retained that you want to pass on to other people. So
sorry.
Go ahead, baby.
Friday Fish Facts. Liz, have you ever tried any wine from Okanagan? Well, I can't even say Okanagan. I'm probably sure I'm saying that wrong. So no, I have not. I would love to.
What's up, Friday Fish Facts? Hope you're doing well, my friend. All right, so let's get into Project Piaba. I have to tell you that I unfortunately knew nothing about, and still don't know enough information about Project Piaba. However, when my buddy Rack and my buddy Chris got involved into it, I saw their enthusiasm about it, and I said, I got to find out what this is all about. I'm just now learning about it, but it's really interesting information. So I'm going to read some stuff, and maybe I won't read some stuff. I don't know. But Project Piaba is a organization of volunteers that help this certain area, the Rio Negro lakes, where they collect a lot of fish. One of the main fish, but not held to it, but one of the main fish they keep is the cardinal tetra. Now, when I get invested in something, when I want to learn something, I start buying books and grabbing stuff and trying to read everything that I have that maybe is already in here that I haven't read, and etc. I've been on Google reading stuff. It's really cool because their logo is "Buy a fish, save a tree." Do you know what that means? Just say no.
No.
It's okay to say no.
I was thinking like my wheels were turning, but nothing was happening.
It's okay to say no because I didn't know either. But apparently, collecting fish is a way of life. In fact, 60% of this village income comes from collecting fish.
Okay.
If they weren't collecting fish, some of the other things that they would have to do would be illegal logging, deforestation, gold mining, and stuff like that, which is destructive to this biosphere or biotope. So the fact that they collect fish enables them to have a steady income as well as make sure that these fish are taken care of in the correct manner. Now, some people are concerned by collecting wild fish that we're destroying their existence in the habitat. And I've done my research, and what I've read is that there is a season where, if Chewy's on, and I hope he's on, but
I have not seen Chewy all evening.
I can't believe this is the one time I always need Chewy, but I really need Chewy now. But there's a time during the season where the water goes up, and that's where a lot of breeding takes place, and there's like thousands of fish.
Right.
And if you don't capture them then, when the season changes and the water goes down, all those thousands of fish
just die. Yeah.
So they're going to die unless someone actually collects them. So these people are actually doing a service by collecting them and putting them back into the hobby. So, I just said a lot. So that's one thing. I'm going to read the purpose. The purpose of Project Piaba, and I see Joseph in the house, and I'm sure he knows.
They had a island-wide blackout. Shoot. And so he just got power. Doggone it.
What's
Go ahead,
going
keep
on?
talking. I spilled. Go ahead.
We got a wine spill. It's a party now.
No.
Back to Project Piaba. So I'm going to have to ad lib while she's gone. We're going to talk about some of the things that it does. It's established best handling practices, protocols for fish folk to maximize animal welfare and trade value of fishes. Create training, education materials, and workshops for fishers, intermediates, and fish exporters. Work with existing fisher folk, I like that, fisher folk, organizations and community groups on information exchange efforts to alleviate poverty through a strong fish trade with benefits for local communities. Now, if you want more information on this, and I would hope that you want more information, because again, I should have said this beginning, our topic of the day is, are we doing all we can as hobbyists to help our hobby? And I mean, and a lot of us are in the hobby for various reasons. You know, Joey had his video where he talked about some down times in his life and how the hobby brought him up. IFG just put out a video talking about some of his struggles and how the hobby picked him up. A lot of us have those stories. I just got into the hobby because I absolutely loved it, and my father was into it, and it was passed down to me. But if you are into the hobby, hopefully you want to give back. Now, I want to also, no questions, right?
No, they're making fun of me for spilling the wine, and Chewy is here. He's lurking.
Chewy, you're lurking. We need you. Okay. Now, this is the one thing that I thought was really cool that they're talking about doing or developing, because I always have people ask me, what's so important about a wild-caught fish? You know, why is there a premium on a wild-caught red tara versus a homegrown red tara? And then there's always like, well, how can you prove that there's the red tara is wild-caught? And I'm just using red tara as an example. This says they are developing traceability capacities to link, oh my God, some big words, to link consumers with the outcomes of their purchase decisions. Photos and interviews with the individual fisher that caught their particular fish. Google Earth flyover maps to the region where that fish was collected from. Alternative livelihoods that the fish would be forced to shift to if the fishery were to collapse. So they're actually going to bring you information where you can say, you bought this fish from so-and-so. You can actually see where it was collected from.
That's cool.
That's really cool. And it's, you know, I've always said, I wish there was some sort of certificate that went with your fish when you bought a wild-caught fish.
Right.
To say, yes.
Like a certificate of authenticity.
A perfect example. Yeah. Like when you get someone's autograph, it don't mean crap unless
you have that certificate.
And I felt the same way about wild-caught fish. But this really perked my interest when I saw that. I was like, wow, that's interesting.
So we do have another question.
Okay.
So Aqua Rob, I'm debating whether or not to add a juvenile jaguar with the rest of my juvenile cichlids in the grow out tank. It's 150 gallons. Then upgrading to a 300 to 350. Any advice with your experience? Bad idea? ?
I think that's a fine idea. If they're all juveniles, this is the time to do it, is right now. And I certainly think that jaguar will be fine. Jaguars normally are not that aggressive as most people think, not like a doveye.
Right.
Unless you have a female in there and they start breeding. I got to start looking at this camera. That will be a different scenario, but they should be fine. And I'm so excited to hear that you already have plans of getting a larger tank and have all that planned out. That is half the battle that most hobbyists don't think of, is my fish is going to get to this size.
Right.
Am I prepared for it? Do I already have a plan? So kudos. It was Aquatic Rob.
Yeah,
Aqua Rob. So, I mean, you look at these big boys behind me, the arowanas back there. I'm going to have a plan for them. The plan was a 300-gallon. We got that, and now we're going to have to get something bigger. If you saw my latest video, I talked about getting an 8-foot tank and putting it against the wall over there, and that will be the last tank in this house. So, I think I have pretty much gone over everything that I know about. I love that picture of this right here. Is that not awesome? Beautiful. And those are cardinal tetras in there. And there's over 800 different species of fish that they collect in this one area. They also have a celebration every year. The natives, I don't know if that's the correct word, or the people in the village have a huge celebration where they all get decked out and celebrate this occasion of collecting fish, because it's such a means of money for their village. So
I'm sorry. Bob asks, more aggressive, Jaguar or Jack Dempsey?
I really think that they're both similar.
Yeah, they are. In
One's bigger than
attitudes.
the other. One can do more damage at adult size than the other, but I really think they are very similar. I mean, these Oscars, I have Jack Dempsey's in there.
I mean, I've seen some nasty Jack Dempsey's.
I have two, but I've seen some nasty Jaguars
Yeah,
too.
I think it depends on the fish by fish basis.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's see. Let me see. And so that's a boat, man, and I think that's all I really have about that.
So Bible WP, a planted cardinal tank would be gorgeous.
Yeah, and we have skipped over so much stuff, and it's 8:29. But Liz and I on Saturday went to that fish place.
Yes.
Because we finally. I've been having a rough week, and I hate to keep saying Susie Q and Aquafunk, but Susie Q and Aquafunk have been like my friends, and I've been telling them all the stuff going on at work and home and all this other stuff, and how I'm thinking about doing less live feeds and all this other stuff. And those two are my go-to people to kind of say, hey, to pick me up and say, hey, and they picked me up. They're like, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. You don't need to do anything less. Your channel's really growing. So thank you for you two. You guys are great friends. But Liz said, hey, you've been doing a lot of work. Why don't you take that $100 gift card and go buy yourself something from that fish place and cheer you up? Now, of course, she had to go over there anyway because she was picking up a donation for a cat event that she's going to talk about. But we went down there and we bought a bunch of stuff. And I took a bunch of B-roll. And I don't know if it's next week or the week after, I'm going to show you what we bought for $100. I have to tell you, it is very, very strange to be walking in a store with a big old camera and you're just like filming stuff and talking. People will look at you very, very strange. I don't know if you guys experience the same thing.
So we have a couple of questions.
Okay.
Rockford Fish Keeping. I just got some jewel cichlids about a week ago. How long till they get red? They're about 2 inches long. You
just got some jewel cichlids and they're 2 inches long? You're not
They should already be red, shouldn't they?
How long have you had them? Sometimes they get a little pale and they don't get red until they start breeding. Chris, would you stop sending us money, man?
Thank you for bending the needle, raising awareness. We have another question here. And they're different kind of jewels too. There's the red jewels and then there's the turquoise jewels. Mm-hmm. So that depends on what you got too. But LT's Aquavision, my 75-gallon is still cloudy 3 days after a water change. Should I do another water change? What products do you recommend for water treatment?
LT, your tank sounds like it's cycling.
Yep.
I wouldn't do anything. I certainly wouldn't add any water treatment to it. Let it do its thing. Cloudy water is just part of the business. Whenever I do water change, my water's a little cloudy. The question I would like to ask you is how much water did you change? Hopefully you're not changing the entire amount of water. Yeah. Normally I do about 50% max. Some people do a little more, but if you could, get back to us and let us know how much of that water did you change in your 75 and how often are you doing it. I just got a notification that Shishi is going on in 30 minutes, so I will try to keep this going. The next thing you're getting ready to see, guys, is a 2-minute CARES promotion that I did. So you're not going to be able to hear me and Liz, hopefully, and you're going to have to watch this for 2 minutes. If you can watch me talk for an hour, you can watch a 2-minute video, and then we're going to talk about CARES, and hopefully Greg will be in the house to correct everything that I say wrong. So here, fish are dying in numerous bodies of water all over this world. This topic, this subject, this video needs your attention. We need you to help us right now. So let's talk about the CARES Preservation Program. It is vital, it is important, and we need you now. All you experienced hobbyists, we need you now. Every day fish are dying. Fish that we may never see again, but we can make a difference. Now, because of global warming, deforestation, political unrest, there's so many things that are going on that are causing fish to die, to lose their natural habitat, to be wiped off the face of this earth. But we can make something. We can do something about that. We can make a change. We can help. We can be involved. We can be activists. We can get out there and we can make a change. But it's going to take me. It's going to take you. It's going to take all of us to get excited, to get mad, to use our resources, to use our knowledge, our experience, our success as hobbyists to help, to make sure certain species aren't wiped off the face of this earth. Now I know that's epic. I know that's alarming, and it needs to be, because we are losing fish. But we have an answer, and that answer is you, and you, and you. If you're a successful, experienced hobbyist, you can make a change right now. There's a program you can get involved in right now that will save fish. Hasn't this hobby been great to you? I mean, don't you love this hobby? Give back. Find a species of fish that is at risk right now. Take them into your aquarium, your fish rooms, and give them a home. Breed them. Pass them on to another hobbyist. Breed them. Pick up another species. Breed them. And keep this cycle and chain going so that there are no longer any endangered or at-risk fish in our environment, in our... Alright guys, so we are back, and obviously I take CARES very seriously. I thought that this would be a great time, after speaking about Project Piaba, I think talking about CARES is the perfect succession to that talk, because it's similar in the ways of wanting to make sure that fish in the environment are taken care of and we don't lose them. So, going to talk about some of these things real quick. CARES was founded in 2004. CARES stands for, a lot of people don't know what CARES stands for. So CARES stands for Conservation, Awareness, Recognition and Responsibility, Encouragement, Education, and Support and Sharing. So that's where the word CARES comes from. Now I'm going to read you the purpose of CARES. The purpose of CARES Preservation Program is to create a base stock of conservation priority species through encouraging hobbyists worldwide to devote tank space to one or more species at risk and distribute offspring to fellow qualified hobbyists, while forming information network where possible between aquarists, scientists, and conservationists. So there are, as my promo, my very, very serious, why so serious?
Well, and Greg said you're the Sarah McLachlan of CARES.
Thank you, Greg. There are species of fish that are endangered, and there are experienced, bless you, hobbyists in this chat room right now. There's how many? 84 people in here, and I guarantee you every person in this chat room can probably successfully save a fish that's endangered. And if we would all, I'm taking this straight out of Greg's mouth, if we could all just dedicate one tank to one species, you would be flabbergasted how many species we could actually save. So now that I know that Greg's in the house, I'm going to actually let you listen to a video that I taped of him at the Big Fish Deal this year. It was so moving for me that I wanted to tape it, and quite honestly, every now and then I just listen to it myself just to reinvigorate myself about my direction and my purpose in the hobby. So here's Greg.
But like I said earlier, everybody in this room dedicated one tank to an endangered species. We're looking at over 100 different colonies of fish that would be protected. Just one tank. I know most of us have multiple tanks. But please consider doing that. Please consider keeping a CARES fish in the long term. Not something you want to BAP or turn to burn. Dedicate a tank to one species for the long term.
Okay, so that was Greg speaking. Yes.
So there's been a lot of questions about where to get that clip of the CARES video that you did so they can share it as well.
That clip is actually something I did on one of my own YouTube videos. If people would like to share that, I can certainly set it up somewhere where you can get it. But I have a full 20-minute video where I talk nothing but CARES. And unfortunately, it didn't get viewed very well. I think it finally hit 1,000 views, but And going back to what Susie Q talked about, and going back to what makes channels popular and stuff, CARES, for whatever reason, CARES is not a topic that a lot of hobbyists want to talk about, unfortunately. I can put up massive, huge fish, and I can get 2,000 views in a week. But if I put down, we're losing fish, I might get 500 views in 2 weeks. It's sad, but it's reality. And I can't let that stop me from, and I have, honestly, I stopped doing stuff about these things that we need to jump on and to fix, because I'm trying to build my channel, and shame on me. But in the same token, I'm thinking, for me to get enough people to hear, I have to build my channel first. And then when I have that audience, I can go back in and I can start sharing CARES to a larger audience. Now, go ahead.
So like Rockford had asked about, where do you get fish? Where do you get the CARES fish? Isn't there a list on the CARES website of people keeping? Now,
CARES, in my experience, and Greg Steves in the house, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is largely run, it's pushed by local fish clubs in the country. Each club, most clubs, if they're run correctly, have a CARES program in their club, and these fish are introduced, whether they're through auction or whether they're through like a speaker like Greg Steves that sometimes brings CARES fish. We have CARES fish that we got from the Cyclic Club of York. But as you said, there's also a list on the CARES website of fish that are endangered and people that have these fish and have successfully bred them, and who are willing to send them to other people so that they can breed them as well. So
Mikey M just said, people I know recently sent some endangered live bears back to a river in Mexico for supporting the species in the wild. It's happening now.
Wow. That's very similar to what Greg Steves' talk was about. So you and Greg need to get together. Let me talk about CARES 4 goals. So what did I do? Here we go. I need to get rid of this. Sorry, guys. There's a lot of stuff. All right. 4 major goals. Number 1, to bring awareness to the critical situation of fish in nature while educating the public and stressing the importance of roles as responsible aquarists. Number 2, to recognize, encourage, and offer support to hobbyists who maintain species at risk. Number 3, to share fish as well as data and experience through notes and manuscripts so that others may learn to maintain those identical, similar species. And number 4, to preserve, and this is the most important, to preserve species at risk for future generations.
Right.
So, well said, whoever wrote that up. I am so glad, and you are too, to be a part of the CARES team. I always say we have not done enough, and I still think we haven't done enough, but we are going to change that. Let me see. I thought I had something with... Yeah, I love this picture. This is the first time that I kind of got together all with some of the top CARES people. That's me, that's Greg Steve, that's Steve Lindenball from Wet Spot, who's a good friend. And then that is Claudia Dickinson, who is like...
the go-to gal?
She's the soul of CARES, if for me, anyway. I mean, I got on board because of Greg and because of Claudia, but... she's just an amazing, amazing woman, and she always has a smile on her face, and she, no matter where she's at or when she sees me, she takes at least 10 minutes and just talks to me, ask about you if you're not there, ask about my life. She's just an amazing woman. So let me take this back off of us, and again, any questions about CARES, please ask them now. I'll be glad to answer whatever I can.
So, Sherry Berry's Aquaria, what kind of organization do you have to be to meet the requirements to be a member?
Of what?
CARES.
Well, there's no requirements. All you have to do is go to CARES, and first of all, I would start with your local clubs.
Right.
What does Greg Steve said? Me too. Okay, I'm not sure what he's talking about. I would see if you have a local club. If you have a local club, 90% sure they probably have a CARES program. Get involved with that. If not, go to the CARES website and you will find information about these fish that you can get from other people in your local area.
Right.
Any other questions?
Not right this second.
Not right this second. All right. So, Greg, do you have any thoughts about that? I know we're lagging, so
Well, not lagging. We're
not lagging. What are we, delayed or
delayed.
ahead? Well, the live feed is delayed. I think I did the purpose of CARES, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I already
Yes,
did
you
that.
did.
All right.
So the people of CARES you did. What about the CARES introduction?
I thought I did that, but let's see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. 4 goals. Yeah, I did that.
Okay.
What it stood for. All right, so again, Project Piaba, great organization, something you should certainly get involved in. CARES, another great organization, and I can't say this enough. If you are a good hobbyist, you don't even have to be an advanced hobbyist. If you can maintain fish for a long time, you need to get a tank, you need to get some of these fish, and you need to get them to breed so they don't become extinct. Yes, ma'am.
So Greg says you can join CARES through a local club, but you can also join as an individual.
Awesome.
Directly to probably go to the CARES website and join up.
Absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to go to our question and answer page.
Okay.
And I'm going to bring our topic back up one more time, which is, are we doing enough as hobbyists giving back to the hobby? So does anyone have an answer for that? Do you guys feel like you've given back to the hobby as much as the hobby has given to you? And I'll wait.
You're going to have to. So Susie says, if I can do it, you can do it.
Absolutely. Susie Q said that?
Yep.
Well, Susie Q is awesome.
There is a CARES Facebook page as well. Thank you, Tom.
That's right, Tom. Thank you very much for that. If someone could put a link up to that, I would appreciate it, to the CARES Facebook page. If not, I will put in my description. I should have done that before. River Life, I wonder if there are any CARES fish in the Project Piaba area. I am
positive. I
I'm
would think
sure
so.
there is. River Life, Rack, we just did a section on Project Piaba. I hope you got to see it. I'm going to direct everyone to you, Rack, as far as getting more information about Project Piaba. I know you're the man to go to. I know your heart is in the right place, and you're all about that Project Piaba, and how lucky are they to have you as a spokesperson for them.
So far, there's 3 no's to the answer to the question you asked, and 1 yes.
Yeah. Well, there's Tom definitely doing. Definitely
Yeah.
not. So let's talk about some of the things you can do to help give back. One of them is volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to say this. I feel like I've done a lot in the hobby, but I still feel like I haven't done enough.
Right.
Like, I've created, and Funk's going to go roll his eyes.
Oh,
I've
God.
created a club. I've worked for the American Cichlid Association for 4 years. I work with CARES, although I need to do more CARES stuff. You know, I've done stuff with the Aquatic Experience. We've run shows. We've even done talks. There's so many. We've done newsletters. I've done publications. There's so much stuff that you can do. You volunteered your time at local clubs. You just got done volunteering all your services for a cat event. So there's lots of things you can do to give back to the hobby.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be money. So volunteer, find out what's going on in your local area. If you have a local club, which is going to be my next thing, definitely join your local club. Of course, I can't find it now because it's up here. But join your local club, find out, and listen, we're going to plug ourselves. Go to kingandqueencichlids.com, and you're going to find clubs, you're going to find upcoming events, and you might find something in your area to check out.
Right.
So Liz religiously sometimes updates that.
Well, and I just figured out how to do it so it automatically updates for the clubs that do it on a certain day every month.
All right.
So yay, less to do.
All right.
But we do have another question.
Yes.
Oscar Kid 2 asks, do you have an Oscar?
Oscar Kid 2. I just got 2 Oscars today. I rescued them from a young lady named Michelle. That video is coming out. Now, this is how nerdy is that every time I do something fishy, and I don't know if you guys are doing this too.
Something fishy.
I'm bringing my camera just because it's B-roll, it's footage. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to be said. So I kind of feel funny videoing everything that I do that's fish related, but I need content. But yes, I have 2 Oscars, and I can go to the fish can real quick.
Yep.
And you can
And
see
they're
they've
up
already
there
moved
now.
back to the corner with the angelfish. If you see the angelfish, they're in there at the top of the corner, opposite of the angelfish.
Oh yeah, they can't see your arrow there, can they?
Yeah, they can't see the arrow, but hopefully they'll see that big white glob that looks like an albino tiger Oscar. So, yep, there you go. Any other questions?
Let's see. So, what can someone do for the hobby with no clubs?
Okay, so we're gonna get to
Shows or interest in 5 to 8 hours from 5 to 8 hours from home.
that. Okay.
So, and Greg had brought up you could post your photos and your knowledge to Facebook and the internet.
Absolutely. So you beat me to it. I was about to say that exact same thing, but you can also promote. One of the reasons, the main reason why King Queen Cichlids was created was because we wanted to promote the hobby.
Yep.
We wanted to tell people about. I have to stand up. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
We wanted to tell people about all the events that were happening, and that's why we created it.
Mm-hmm.
We did it for absolutely free. We did a lot of our stuff on Facebook, and then once we found out about YouTube, we started promoting the hobby on YouTube. Now, I would be a absolute bald-faced liar if I told you at some point during our growth that we didn't go from freely giving information and promoting the hobby to, and I have to say this for me because you don't have any part of that, to becoming someone wrapped up in trying to become a bigger channel and becoming monetized. So at some point, I went from promoting the hobby freely just because I wanted to promote and I wanted other people to see it, to now wanting to generate videos that produce a lot of views because I want to be monetized, because it was nice that I started getting money in. This is the second time I'm going to plug IFG, but IFG said in one of his videos, if you're not at YouTube to get money, then just hit the unmonetized button, which you could do. Obviously, we are in it to get as much money as we can. I know, based on all the work, we do a lot of work in the hobby. I put a lot of time into this. And for me to sit here and say that what I'm doing now is not to create money or revenue would be an absolute lie. It's not what drives me, but it's nice to have.
Yeah.
So,
well, and most of it we put back into either equipment for the channel or into other channels. It's not like we're going on a vacation.
Oh, absolutely,
absolutely.
I mean, I haven't told you this, but I'm sure I've super chatted or put over $150 into stuff today alone, just because I can, and we've been blessed as a family, and we've been blessed by people super chatting us, and I have a really good job, and if I can help other people have helped me in my time, and I'm sure I'm going to need help again. So if I have the means of helping someone, I'm going to keep doing that. So, yes.
So we have another question. Everything casual. Can a green terror cross breed with a Cuban cichlid?
I wonder if this is the same person that asked about a flower horn crossbreeding.
I don't know.
Anything is possible, and I'll say the same answer I gave last week. Why would you want to?
Right.
And one of the things, if Greg is still in the house, one of the things that irks him the most, and I don't want to start a hybrid and flower horn war here, but I think one of the things that bothers Greg the most, and me too a little bit, is we have people that are creating hybrids and man-made fish, while fish that are genuine, real,
are dying.
Are here, that were created naturally are dying, and meanwhile we're creating man-made fish. Now, I'm not as strong as Greg is as far as his stance, because I think it's always good to get people in the hobby no matter what they keep. And I did have a lot of experience at aquatic experience talking to the flower horn people and talking to them about getting other fish other than flower horn. And fingers crossed, I think they're going to do that. But I do agree that it is a little disheartening that people are getting flower horns wild natural fish are dying. Yes, ma'am.
So Oscar Kid asks, can I do one arowana in a 130-gallon tank?
What type of arowana? I'm assuming you're talking silver or not the Giardini.
I would assume silver.
Well, the Asian is obviously illegal. The
Right.
Giardini is not. 130-gallon tank. I'm not familiar. Is that a 6-foot long tank? It would be good for half his life, maybe. I mean,
But not long term.
I don't think it'd be good long term. No, not even for one. Some people might disagree with me, but I have 2 silver arowanas back there that are pushing 20, 22 inches in a 7-foot tank, and I still think that's not enough.
It's not. It's not.
And at some point, we're going to have to upgrade and do something with them. So thanks for the question. Hope I answered it.
He did say silver.
Yeah, it'll be fine as long as you have a plan long term to get a bigger tank. Excuse me, I think it'll be fine. What did Greg Bing say?
Glad to be blessed in giving, loving, and caring hobby. No drama and everyone willing to help someone younger, older, or a different race. What a great community we are in.
That's absolutely right. I can tell you that one of the reasons why I became so invested in volunteering, promoting the hobby, is none other than Mo Devlin. Mo Devlin.
I love Mo.
Mo is the best. I'm a huge cichlid fan, and he got me into big cichlids. When the American Cichlid Association convention was in Washington, I believe 2010 or 2011, I met Mo for the first time. I just wanted to shake his hand and say hi.
Right.
That man literally spent 20 to 30 minutes with me just talking to me about fish. He didn't have to do that. He was the president of the AC at that time. He was running the convention, but he sat down and he talked to me, and we have been the very best friends since.
Yeah. And I love his wife too, because she's in rescue
great.
like I am.
Yeah.
So we get along with them very well.
So-
I do want to give you a 5-minute time check.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh my God. Are we really?
Yep.
So again, guys, when you meet people like a Mo Devlin, a Rusty Wessel, a Greg Steves, and Susie Q said it. Greg sat down with Susie Q and talked to her like she was just like him.
Right.
And those people, when they spend that time with you, go ahead with Bob.
So Bob Super Chat, $20 back pills for Scott or whatever is needed the most.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I do have a really bad back. I have had surgery on it, and when it gets cold, it really starts to act up, and it's acting up. Hopefully, I'm not throwing you guys off too much.
So one more question, Clementine. Have you thought about breeding your paratilapia bleakeri? We have thought about it. We have tried it, and we have not been successful.
I've had two females with the male. I've had one female with the male. I've tried everything you can think of, other than Jim Cummings, who yet is another great
He needs to come and touch my water.
If he could come touch the water, we'd be all right. And God bless Jim. He'll put his paratilapia pawnine in with South American cichlids
and dambas.
Huge community tank. And you're talking about a crowded tank. He does crowd his fish a little bit. I'm just going to tell you, based on what I've seen, and they still breed.
Yeah.
Now, he gives them lots of room, lots of hiding places. But for whatever reason, it works out. I don't know if he introduces them all when they're young, but he gets all his Madagascar fish to breed. And that's one of the main species that is most endangered, is the Madagascar species.
So another question.
Sure.
How big do Texas cichlids get from Everything Casual?
Oh my gosh. Everything Casual, we were actually at that fish place, and I literally, I saw the largest Texas cichlid
Oh, he had to be the oldest and biggest Texas.
Oh, he was pushing at least 10 years.
Yeah, he was, how's that?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not good with numbers, but there you go.
Yeah,
and
he was
fat.
he was 12, 13 inches long, fat, and I have not seen I haven't seen any Texas cichlids with a nuchal hump.
He had the nuchal hump.
He had the nuchal hump.
And the waddle, the big waddle.
Now, I started to think, is he some type of hybrid? And I couldn't verify that because, again, I am a hobbyist promoter. My job is to promote the hobby and get you to guys like Greg Steve who can educate you. That's why part of my title says Excite, Engage, Education. That's my job, is to excite and engage, and then I send you off to people like Chris Biggs, Jim Cummings, Greg Steves to educate you.
Right.
But if I had to take a guess, I thought might be a hybrid because I've never seen a nuclear hump like that on a Texas cichlid.
Okay, last question, then we're going to have to wrap it up. So Oscar Kidd says, can you put 1 red devil, 2 Oscars, and 1 red wolf in a 130? Well, I think the devil and the wolf would destroy the Oscars.
What size are they? And that's very cool that you have a red doveye, because those are not common in the hobby. That's what you're saying a red wolf is, because
Right.
the Parachromis red doveye is not common in the hobby. I've only seen maybe 4 in existence, and we had one of them, and unfortunately he didn't make it. Little fish tore him up.
All right. So we have to wrap this up so everybody can get to Shishi.
I am so sorry, guys. I do want to respect Shishi, so you guys show over to Shishi. Handy just put the link there.
Yep.
I'm going to, and I wanted to do a game, and I guess we're not going to be able to do that either. So I'm going to leave you with the last thing I have to say about CARES. And you guys have a great week. Stay positive, and thank God for friends, man. Thank God for friends. Go to caresforfish.org. Get involved in this incredible program. If you have any questions, please leave comments below. I will direct you to the people in the trenches: Greg Steves, Dr. Paul Lazell, Leslie Dix, Claudia Dickerson, Lawrence Kent. There's so many people involved in this program that can give you more information about what you can do to help. So today's the beginning, opening our eyes, realizing that there are fish at risk and we can make a difference. There's a program available that helps, and we can get involved today, and we can make a difference from our very fish room.